There's a song by Drake that he said, since you picked up, I know he's not around. He makes a lot of sense because usually that's what happens. The distraction is around. They may put you on mute. They may block you. I've seen people do this all the time in relationships. They might look perfectly fine during the daytime, posting, they're going out, they're acting like the breakup didn't really affect them. But I'm gonna tell you something, that nighttime hits a little bit different. Because when the distractions fade and things finally get quiet, their mind starts replaying things. The conversations, moments from the relationship, things they wish they have done differently. And that's when sleep starts to get a little bit harder. What's going on, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the Rebound Journal. Welcome back to another video. Little PSA, if you guys aren't interested in this content, I have a whole nother channel with a bigger library where I talk a little bit more about the psychology behind breakups and why you do the things that you do in relationships. I specialize in attachment style theory. That channel is connected to this channel. They won't be able to sleep well. And if you know who I am, if you know that I've been doing this for a while, you know that I don't just say things because it sounds nice. It's always backed behind some type of experience, behind some type of proof, receipts of what I'm talking about. And I have 5 reasons as to why I feel they're going to be losing sleep. Now, this is going to help people who feel as if they've been tossed away like the trash. And for people who feel that they wasted a lot of their time and their energy on someone who won't feel any type of remorse or the karma won't come back on them. This is the reason I made this channel. This is the reason I make this content for you guys. I endure the snow and the weather just so I can walk and talk with you as if we're having a coaching call. The first reason why I feel that they're going to be struggling to sleep at night is because after the day ends, nighttime hits, the distractions are no longer there. They've been working, they've been running around, they're in Turks and Caicos, whatever they're doing. That nighttime, when that head hits the pillow, that's when the thought starts racing. Now, this is if they don't have anything that's mind altering or if they taking some type of sleep meds every night. I don't know if I can say sleep meds on here, but hopefully I can and I don't get dinged by YouTube. But everything that they did up until this point to forget about the breakup, to forget about hurting someone who meant something to them, or if you're someone that broke up with them and you feel like they're just not going to care anyway because they just weren't showing up in the relationship for you, know that that's not the case. They may look like they're living their best life. I can tell you that if they don't have any type of mental issues or banged and hit their head, they're going to be feeling this. The chickens are going to come home to roost. Second reason I feel this is going to happen is because the mind is an interesting thing. I was listening to a psychologist that talked about how he feels that memories aren't real things. Like memories are actually created. So what we feel as something that was a for sure thing happened in our life could not be true. It could be something that we just completely made up and isn't rooted in any type of reality. I thought that was an interesting concept. I didn't really explore too much more, but I think about some of the times we make up memories, like these phantom memories. Let's say you're having a conversation with someone and they say, no, it didn't happen that way. Unfortunately, this happens in relationships too after the breakups. We can paint things better than what it was. So when they're thinking about all the things that you guys went through, at the end of the breakup, they only focused on the negative memories. But as time goes on, those memories start rushing back of the good times. Those Snapchat memories, Facebook memories starts getting pushed back into their face to the point where they just can't deny that what you guys had was actually something healthy. The third reason I feel that these relationships that they get into right away, the rebound, someone said in the comment section, I haven't heard the word rebound since I was 18. I thought that was hilarious because it is a bit immature. But I also think it's immature to move the way that they do after breakups. I think it's immature to make someone feel like they did everything wrong and they did everything right. They don't take accountability. But that's a story for another day. Back to the third thing. The third thing is the rebound is no longer around. There's a song by Drake that he said, since you picked up, I know he's not around. And one thing I know about Drake, or I admire about Drake is he has a lot of insight on what relationships look like, how the breakups happen. I think he does a really good job at that. May not be a huge fan, but he makes a lot of sense, because usually that's what happens when the distraction is around. The other person, they may put you on mute, they may block you. I've seen people do this all the time in relationships. But then as soon as that person leave, guess who's unblocked again? Guess who they're texting, what you doing? How you been? That's how it goes. And that leads me to the number 4, because that silence, it gets louder. The sitting with themselves, they're sitting with their thoughts and reflecting, it becomes painfully loud in their mind. And some people can't fight that urge, not to text, not to breadcrumb, not to get rid of the guilt that they feel for leaving that relationship. And it's interesting, because this is usually the decision that they made. Once again, if you're someone on this channel and you're the one that did the breaking up, we could talk about that again. Sometimes you got to do what you have to do. The writing was on the wall. I personally believe that there are people out there that don't leave relationships soon enough, that stick around after they've seen all of the red flags, all of the yellow flags, and they stick around. So I have to applaud you for leaving. It takes guts. It takes just as much guts to leave a relationship that you know is not going anywhere than it does to be alone for a while and to heal after a breakup. And the last one I have for you guys is number 5. The mind is hyperactive in the middle of the night. You know, my wife, she sleeps pretty well. I sleep well. But the only time I can't sleep well is when it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been woken up because I had to get some water or something, and my mind is just going. I'm thinking about book ideas. I'm thinking about apparel. I'm checking my YouTube stats. I'm doing all these different things because my mind is just hyperactive in the middle of the night. They call it the witching hour. And I should be more productive in my witching hour. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not the only one that has this experience. The people going through breakups, if you were even able to get to sleep to begin with, that witching hour comes and you start to feel a certain type of way. When I was going through breakups, and relationship turmoil, I would really struggle to get to sleep. I'm someone that they call like a fearful avoidant with anxious tendencies, where breakups make me uncomfortable. Relationship turmoil makes me uncomfortable. I get this knot in my stomach. I get this anxiousness, and it's very unmasculine. It's really not something men would admit to, but I feel like I'm a bit emotionally intelligent and I don't care. I'll do what I want to do. And it's also something that I'm learning to heal. I'm learning to maintain and just be comfortable being with myself. This is another reason why I made this channel, because if you're someone that was ever codependent, that was ever someone that could never be by themselves, rebounding is a weak way out. It is a way to not be able to do the strong and masculine thing. If you're a man, I see more women that can be alone longer than men can be. Trust me, I know, I've worked with these men. So if you're really struggling right now, you're thinking this person just doesn't care, they may not be sleeping as well as you thought. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by the Rebound Journal. If you want my help personally, that link is in the description. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.